The other day when I did my Colin Kaepernick videos, I told y'all, I said, as a veteran, I'm not offended by his stance. It had nothing to do with vets. I said the people in the media or people who don't understand or who are blind patriots just throw anything out when a black man or black woman question this country's integrity. Even back when Reverend Wright said, no, not God bless America, God damn America, when he was talking about the things he'd done, it wasn't veterans yelling. It was motherfuckers that never served, motherfuckers that probably wanted to serve but couldn't make it, or motherfuckers that just racist. I told y'all that those veterans, black and white, more than likely felt the same way I felt. Now I know people said Montel Williams. Montel Williams is handkerchief head. He don't know, 1 minute he want to be a black man, 1 minute he want to be something else. Yeah, he served in the military, but he ain't got to throw it up every 5 fucking minutes and tell you to do something. Well, I was in the Navy, I was a captain, I was commander. Man, shut the fuck up. Anyways, U.S. veterans are coming to Colin Kaepernick's defense in droves. I told y'all, don't use us. We veterans do not like that shit. There are veterans that I politically don't agree with. But when it comes down to us agreeing on how we've been treated and how people marginalize us and think they better than us, we stick together. I told y'all that. I said, Tommy Lauren and them, they playing too much into this veteran thing. And now, you know it's on the news, they downplaying this now. Check this out. Ever since Colin Kaepernick decided to sit during the national anthem at an NFL preseason game last week, one of the more common criticisms leveled against the San Francisco 49er quarterback has been that he's been disrespected veterans by not paying proper tribute to the American flag. Kaepernick's own former teammate, Minnesota Viker Alex Boone, for one, expressed his frustration with the quarterback protest on Sunday. Boone saw it as a affront on veterans. Like Boone's own brother, you should have some fucking respect for the people who serve, Boone told USA. I hope Boone get his leg broke. Anyways, Kaepernick has tried to make it clear that he does not wish to disrespect any military veterans in the days since his protest. He said that. I take the man at his word. Rather, he believes that idols for which they risk their lives are not being protected at home, and that's true. I have great respect for the men and women who have fought for this country, he said Sunday. I have family, I have friends who have gone and fought for this country. And they've fought for freedom, they fought for the people, they fought for liberty and justice for everyone. But he added, people are dying in vain because this country isn't holding their end of the bargain up. As far as getting freedom and justice and liberty, everybody. Large numbers of Americans have continued to criticize Kaepernick in the days after his comments. But a noteworthy group have also started to speak up in his defense, veterans themselves. Over the last day, military veterans have taken to Twitter and other social media in support of not only Kaepernick's right to free speech, but the particulars of his message too. If you haven't served, don't speak on my behalf, one veteran wrote. Now, I said the same thing. I've served for his right to protest. I don't serve for police brutality, another wrote. Below, you'll find some of the posts in defense of Kaepernick. Believe us when we say there are many more over the internet. I told y'all, don't do this. This is not good. If I became rich and famous today and decided to speak out about the ongoing and systematic oppression of black people and constant police brutality in this country, which you burn. Stop deliberating and trying to miss the message by crucifying the messenger. This is a Marine. I had a uniform like this. I wore when I was in Iraq working on the tanks and driving them and shit. He's a Marine. I encourage all veterans to make similar posts to mine and show support for our brother Kaepernick. It's a misconception that every military member is furious at his protests when there are those who are proud. This is a Vietnam veteran. Welcome home, brother. My father, Marine, served this country in Vietnam. He says we're far from justice for all. Look at this white woman, Christine Megan. I am a disabled veteran, and I haven't stood for the anthem since I separated. We are not free. This is a white woman with her little daughter. I'm assuming it's her little daughter. I serve for his right to protest. I don't serve police brutality. Because I didn't volunteer to defend a country where police brutality swept under the rug. This is a white guy. Look at this, folks. Colin Chase, free speech is free speech all the time. IG Sonny Anderson. I took an oath and served, so players on a team I don't even like to have the freedom of speech. This brother. If you haven't served, don't speak on my behalf. Isaac Wright. I don't agree with all his points, but I'll fight to the death for his right to say it. Marco. I serve to protect your freedoms, not a song. Served from 97 to 2014. I am a firm believer of freedom of speech and expression. I served 5 years and I support you, Kaepernick. Sitting or standing, exercise your rights. I stand by him 100%. Ed Beck. Because we're actually not self-centered racists. My cousin just returned for 8 months deployment defending Kaepernick's freedom of speech. LeBron Flocka James. People who haven't served trying to tell us how we feel. I've served 25 years in the Air Force to protect everyone's First Amendment rights. I support you. That sister's 25 years, damn near 30 years of her life. Robert Young. Because we demand our country protect all the citizens equally. That's what I defend. Antonio Brewer. Me, let me see. West Point, we went to West Point, Radio School, Kosovo, Iraq, Bronze Star. Kaepernick is an American hero. Brandon Gorecki. Add me to the patriots who support this man and his rights along with his cause. I was black before I joined. I'll be black when I finish serving my time. I was brave enough to defend everyone's rights, even those who dislike people like me. Amen, sister. Dominique Troop. I was a black man before my service and will still be a black man when I am done. Just like some of y'all was trying to question me, like, he served in the military, he ain't really a black man. Man, I'm more black than y'all think. 4.5 years of service with deployment and a year-long remote. Keep doing your thing, salute. I'm riding with 7, Fall for Freedom, not a song. Jeffrey Crossman, I serve to protect your freedoms, not a song. Charlie, I'm a Kaepernick, I'm a vet, I care about people's rights to take a stand, make us better, make us stronger. Charlie Kramer, don't use my service or that or any veteran to justify the silence of black Americans. Now on my watch, that's a white man. So, when I told y'all the other day in my commentary that I said there are a lot of veterans and there are many more out here that feel the same way. Let me tell you something. I served with some racist motherfuckers in the military. I'm not going to even lie. And I guarantee you, they probably admit, or probably you had to catch them saying something to hear and see the racism. But to sit there and use the United States veterans to attack this man and attack the black community. Drew Brees, Tony Stewart, any of you white men and white women, well known or not, any of you fools burn his jersey, y'all are racist and y'all told on yourselves. Any of you black men and women, and let me say I'm disappointed. I've defended Reverend Jackson, gave him the benefit of the doubt, but he cooned. Now, Reverend Jackson, you said that you wouldn't protest the way he did. What were you doing in the 1960s? You went into other people's communities to protest them, to let you into their communities. But you're going to turn around 50 years later? I wouldn't have done it. A lot of you motherfuckers out there to talk about big, bad, and what you ain't going to do, who you are. It's the fucking veterans that are putting their foot to the pavement. Those two brothers, whether we agree with them or not, who did what they did, and I don't condone what they did with them cops. Because you had no way of knowing if those cops were crooked cops or not. They did stuff that these Hotep motherfuckers wouldn't do. Talking about taking it to the people. But y'all still don't respect military veterans. And then in the black community, a lot of y'all don't respect the brothers and sisters that serve. Y'all think we fight for this imperial. Everybody's job wasn't over there blowing up shit. And if they was, that was their job. You go to work every day. Don't tell me you like doing everything your boss says or you agree with it. Y'all got more hatred for us, and we don't have that history of fucking with our own people. You think about all the vets that are alive in this country, whether they retired or still actively serving. You don't hear about us going ape shit, fucking up a bunch of people. Not one time have I come back to my community and used any of my, Lord knows I could have, to harm a group of people that I know. Don't sit here and have more respect and love for a fucking song. If you go do the research and the researcher person who wrote it, you will realize they hated black people. Don't go tell me that a piece of cloth that they even made in the United States in large numbers anymore is more important than some human being life. I told y'all that a lot of veterans out here ain't feeling that. Stop using us as a wedge or a barricade for your racism. Have the motherfuckers that talking about veterans. Drew Brees, he could have served. All these motherfuckers, these football players talking shit like the other day interviewed the Chicago Bear player. He was cooning. Well, you know, I'm here to just play football. Okay, fine. I'm going to use that logic. When they say you got to wear pink for breast cancer, I'm here to play football, not be somebody political. Because that's being political. You raising money. You bring attention to somebody else's thing. Well, breast cancer affects black women too. But they don't get the health care that white women get. When you turn on the TV, they don't show cancer-stricken black women. My aunt died of cancer. Poor health care. So don't sit there and tell me when to pick and choose to be American or when to say and when not to say something. Then it brought about his money. They are so fixated on what's in black man's pockets. They are so fixated on how we've been raised. And white America told on itself again. He was raised with a white family. His mother was white. So basically you saying you're a white person. You ain't supposed to sympathize with black folk. Ain't that a form of white privilege? When you say he got adopted by a privileged white family? You just admitted white privilege. These motherfuckers don't think when they attack. See, they used to black folks tucking their tail between their legs. You know what, boss? I'm sorry. But the fucked up part is that black folks will question his brother's patriotism. His blackness. Well, you know he ain't really black. Look at this motherfucker. I guarantee you this brother was privy to the nigger jokes and shit coming up, being adopted by a white family. Going to probably predominantly white schools and living in areas. Probably being picked on. But the last 20 years, we didn't let people reframe. You're biracial, you're not technically black. If that's the case, stop saying Barack Obama is the first black president. Actually, he's not the first black president if you're going to go that route. Because he's not. It was a black man before him that nobody talks about. When I hear black people cooning and throwing this brother on the bus, talking about patriotism, and it took all the civil rights era of sports stars, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the brothers at the '68 Olympics, and Jim Brown. Y'all were just praising Muhammad Ali a few months ago. Now you're throwing this brother under the bus? That means y'all give lip service in this country. And you proved his point. So any of you motherfuckers that criticized him and used the veterans, you need your ass whooped. Don't speak for me. When the last time you bought a veteran a lunch or asked your state senator or senator, hey, what are the veterans getting the pay increase? The veterans should be paid more than anybody in this country. We should be getting all kinds of incentives and tax breaks and whatnot. You care to love us, but do you know how much money we make? We don't make a shitload of money. You still got veterans that was fighting for their benefits. I was lucky because my father was a first sergeant. He told me what the games they was going to play. And I was smart to keep records of everything. It's still shit that I gotta fight to get, but I'm in a better position than most. That don't mean that you get to speak on my behalf. You don't speak on my behalf. Cause you should have spoken on our behalf when President Bush and Vice President Cheney and them and Condoleezza Rice them lied about a damn war and the country didn't did a damn thing to us. We destabilized that Middle East. All of us by not saying anything. And y'all want to continue America's favorite pastime is fucking over black people. And then when a brother sat down, he's a piece of shit. Get out the country. But didn't Donald Trump praise Vladimir Putin? Is he supposed to be anti-America? Didn't Putin have the Russians been hacking our databases and shit? Didn't Donald Trump say America it sucks? It's in bad shape. Really? He's talking about getting out the country. He won't show his tax records like every other person that ran for office. When is Donald Trump? He had deferments. My father and uncles went over to Vietnam. More black men died in Vietnam. More black men were drafted in Vietnam. And you talking about you give a fuck about the veterans? That's why you know nobody romanticized the Vietnam era vets, because there was more blacks in the Vietnam era. Then we had to acknowledge that those men came back with dead in body bags, or exposed to Agent Orange, or was put on drugs that made them drug dependent. So don't fucking sit here and talk about you give a damn about the Desert Storm vets or the Korean War vets. Y'all have ignored them. Y'all gave lip service to the Iraq and Afghanistan vets, but as time go on, y'all don't give a fuck about us. Y'all say you do if you see us in the store with a head on. Now there's some people legitimately walk up and say, sir, thank you for your service. May I pay for your gas or pay for your lunch? I even had a white lady offer to buy me. I had went to Best Buy, and I'm not bragging about what I spend on. But when I go into Best Buy and buy shit, I ain't walking out of here with some little game and shit. I'm going there to buy shit that I can take home and enjoy. And I just put it like this. The bill was over $100, right? I didn't know this lady for nobody. I just had a fucking veteran jacket on. She said, sir, did you serve? I said, yes, I did, ma'am. Thank you for your service. Where did you serve? I said, in Iraq. She said, I'll pay for his. I said, no. I said, ma'am, no. She said, how much is it? And the lady told how much. She said, oh, that ain't nothing. I said, no, ma'am, you can't pay for this. No, I got it. She said, no, I'm going to, man. She told the cashier, do not ring him up. His money's no good here. I never fucking forget that. Now, I still pay for my shit, but the thought that counts. I said, ma'am, donate it to a veteran charity. But seeing some of the black men throw him under the bus, speaking of 5 people, is troublesome to me. Now I get that, y'all, and then those same brothers will pour salt on the black veterans in the community. Every now and then I get somebody coming at me trolling, saying something about my service. But they went there saying it in my face. I've taken advantage of what the government offered me. Did I want to go in the military? No. Because I know the history of the military. But guess what? I know the history of a lot of things in the country. And you have to do things or go places you may not want to go. But it's your job to change for men. And by Collins sitting down, challenging that notion of patriotism, and why should I be honoring something that don't honor and love and respect me or my people, he did his job. But he also showed who was racist out here and how white people got a twisted vision of patriotism. A fucking song? Y'all didn't go after Clive Bundy. He had guns pointed at law enforcement officials and questioned his patriotism. Eric Stolten and them, and Bradley Manning, who gave secrets up. Y'all didn't call them un-American, questioning patriotism. Y'all didn't talk about beating and killing them. Y'all didn't say nothing. Oh, they were white. They put the country and soldiers at risk more than anything this brother could have ever done. So the next time y'all want to think about talking and speaking up for veterans, don't.